NWICO in this video will discuss anything related about it.
Definition, debate, and its challenge.
But first, we will give you a brief background and history about
NWICO.
The non-allegiant countries have made a decisive contribution to this international debate by directing their concerned effort toward a new international economic order, which is decided a new international information order. In 1973 meeting in Algiers, the heads of states of the non-allegiant countries recommended that the developing countries should take a concert action to reorganizing existing communication channels which are legacy from the colonial past. But before 1973, decolonization was not applied to the shape of information and culture until the first event to articulate media and communication in terms of an international order was the 8 a.m. Symposium on Information in Tunis in March 1976.
Of the NWICO concept was non-aligned movement and an ministerial meeting in New Delhi, India, established press agency school of the non-aligned countries, and adopted a landmark New Delhi Declaration. It served as a textbook presentation of the reasoning behind NWICO.
First, the present global information flows are marked by a serious inadequacy and imbalance. The means of communication information are concentrated in a few countries. Second, the situation perpetuates the colonial era of dependence and domination. Third, the dissemination of information rests at present in the hands of a few agencies located in a few developed countries. Fourth, just as political and economic dependence are legacies of the era of colonialism, so is the case of the dependence in the field of information. And fifth, in a situation where the means of information are dominated and monopolized by a few, freedom of information really comes to mean freedom of these few to propagate information. The key passage noted here clearly indicate the desired direction, a rejection of the modernization paradigm in favor of self-determination, national independence, cultural identity, and democratic flows of information between nations.
It was in this point in time and space that the demand for a new international information order arose. The word new order gave an impression to change the world system at that time.
Finally, developing countries push UNESCO to create a new world information and communication order. Through the McBride Commission, UNESCO panel chaired by laureate Sam McBride, this commission bring out a set of recommendations to make global media representation more equitable and produce a report titled Many Voices, One Word, which outlined the main philosophical points of the New World Information Communication Order.
So what is NWICO?
The New World Information and Communication Order, or NWICO, can be said to mean an agitation by the developing countries for a two-way, free, balanced flow of communication processes and information dissemination by the developing countries of Africa, Asia, and Latin America. The NWICO movement began as a protest over the concentration of print and broadcast media ownership among the de facto media cartels and developed into an agreement about the cultural dominance of poor nations by wealthy ones.
The range of problems sought to be addressed by NWICO proponents include cultural dominance and concentration of media ownership among the four main Western information agencies.
In general, NWICO has no longer today a central place in media studies and policies. But nevertheless, it remains an indispensable chapter in media history as a highlight of the global media debates.
NWICO surely invites several debates.
In this part, we will explain and discuss about NWICO debates.
The most controversial debate is when UNESCO decided that there has to be a balanced distribution of communication and technology, even though to make it work, the local government has to intervene. One of the government ways to protect its local media is to license an international free press. UNESCO supports for these policies, though opposite from UNESCO permanent principle for free press and information. Naturally, based on the democracy and free market principle, United States and England against this thing, US and UK decided to discharge from UNESCO and surely affect the performance on this organization. Realizing the current situation, developing countries as if lost direction, that the issue of the flow of information and technology becomes no longer important as the time goes by. So rejection of major countries is then finally put an end to the debate of NWICO.
We have already discussed all about NWICO, from its background and history to the debates about it.
And now we wonder, is there any challenge for NWICO in this globalization era?
First, major news agencies, mostly from core nations, and controlling over 80% of global news flow.
Second, an unbalanced flow of mass media from the core nations, especially the United States, to the developing countries. Everyone watches American movies and television shows.
Third, advertising agencies from the core nations has indirect but significant effects on mass media in the developing countries. Some observers also judge the message of these aids to be inappropriate for the third world.
Fourth, an unfair division of the radio spectrum. The core nation control almost 90% of the radio spectrum.
Fifth, there was similar concern about the allocation of the geostationary orbit for satellites. At the time, only a small number of developing countries had satellites, and it was not possible for developing countries to be allocated a space that they might need 10 years later. This might mean eventually getting a space that was more difficult and more expensive to operate.
Sixth, satellite broadcasting of television signals into third world countries without prior permission was widely perceived as a threat to national sovereignty. The UN voted in the early 1970s against such broadcast.
Seven, at the time, most mainframe computers were located in the United States, and they were concerned about the location of database, such as airline reservation, and the difficulty of developing countries catch up with the core nation lead in technology.
The protection of journalists from violence was raised as an issue for discussion. For example, journalists were targeted by various military action in Latin America in the 1970s.
That's all about NWICO. So after we give you a complete explanation about NWICO, how do you think about it? Does it really help us as a very country to develop our media and free ourselves from an electronic colonialism?
Or NWICO just another Western way to control us? Well, whatever your answer is, we hope that someday our media will rise and shine.